Hello guys from Plant Reviews, today 26th of June, and I'll talk now about Cyrthanthus mackenii, a plant known as Ifafa lily or also fire lily. The Cyrthanthus mackenii is a bulbous plant in the family Amaryllidaceae, in the subfamily Amarylloideae, in the tribe Cyrthantae. So it has its own tribe together with other species of the genus, and the genus is made of about 50 species, composed of about 50 species from Central and Southern Africa. Cyrthanthus mackenii originates from the southern part of Africa, and in particular has two varieties. The Cyrthanthus mackenii that is white in color, and the Cyrthanthus mackenii varietas cooperi that is kind of yellow cream, and this is the one indeed I have. The plant is, as I said, is a bulbous plant about 40 centimeters tall. You can actually see the very tall flower stem, as well as the strap-shaped leaves. The leaves are born just before the flowers, and as you can see, I have a few bulbs still going to sprout at the moment, so hopefully I will get some more flowers. The flower stems are pretty tall, as you can see, in comparison to, and they tower quite above the foliage, and the inflorescence is composed by tubular flowers. In particular, I have on my flower stem four flowers, one in bud and three fully open, that are tubular and are about 5 centimeters, 5-6 centimeters long. The plant is night scented and is pollinated by moths. Talking about fragrance, I have to say that this bulb is mostly sold as a fragrant bulb in the spring sales. It's not a particularly common bulb to find. I bought one pink variety from Farmer Gracie, and 5 bulbs of the cream variety from Kevo Garden. However, the pink variety didn't bloom yet. However, I didn't find neither of these varieties really much fragrant. So as I said, fragrance can be quite a subjective matter, but this is honestly a plant that I wouldn't recommend to buy for the fragrance. Really, honestly, this one belongs to a group of plants that I wouldn't recommend to buy anyway, in my opinion, unless obviously you love tubular flowers and it is a nice shape, kind of vaguely resembles a phrygia. However, the perfume is not comparable to the absolutely gorgeous fragrance of most species of phrygia. The Cyrthanthus mackenii, the name itself comes from the Greek word kyrktos, that means curved, in reference to the curved shape of the flowers, tubes of the flowers, as you can see. And mackenii is in reference to Mr. Mark J. McCann, that he was a collector of plants in South Africa and also was the first curator of the Durban Botanic Garden. The common name fire lily comes because the plant tends to bloom very rapidly after a bushfire. The plant needs partial shade and moist soil, but well drained. The plant, I read, is not supposed to be hardy in the UK. However, last year I forgot the pot outside the whole winter, and evidently this plant decided it was perfectly fine indeed. As you can see, I have most bulbs sprouting, possibly all the bulbs are sprouting now, and I have already one flower stem. The plant blooms between late spring and summer. Another recommendation is, I've read, do not disturb the bulbs much. So if you have to divide the plant, try to divide it only every 5 years. It was great that they actually forgot the plant completely in winter, because obviously I didn't lift the bulbs, and I think that things are doing very well in the pot. Cyrthanthus mackenii also can be used as a cut flowers, and the vase life is about up to 10 days. The propagation can be done either by bulb offsets or also by seeds. It is a plant that even if I didn't read really should be considered hardy in the UK. I found it anyway hardy for sure, at least in Kent and very probably in the rest of the south of the UK. And also, anyway, I read that in Canberra, a gardener also cultivates this plant in just the garden without lifting the bulbs or putting it in pot for the winter, and it is perfectly fine outside. Obviously, the climate and the kind of soil they have in Australia, even in quite cold areas like Canberra, is very different from the one we do have in the UK. I mean, the UK obviously is way much wetter throughout than even the coldest areas of Australia. However, in this case, the plants survived at temperatures below zero. In the UK, considering that the climate is quite wet, I wouldn't really bet on the hardiness of this plant throughout the UK. I live in Kent, that is the sunniest county of England. I am blessed by this, even if sometimes I feel cursed, especially this summer, because I have to water my plants basically every other day because it's not raining much. But really, it is a plant that if you live in the southern part of the UK, you have quite a good chances to cultivate it just as a garden plant and enjoy, if you like the plant, as a garden plant just outdoors. About the cultivation, these plants need partial shade and ideally moist soil when from spring to autumn, when the plant is basically in the growing phase. My review of this plant is that the flowers really are kind of nice, but I don't think I like really bizarre or strange flowers or very fragrant flowers. My nose really doesn't find this plant extremely fragrant, and even at night I can very subtly detect a fragrance, this kind of sweet fragrance. I'm not too sure if maybe the conditions of cultivating the plant is in the same pot of last year, and actually I didn't fertilize the plant much, so might be this reason. However, I never found the Cyrthanthus mackenii included in some of the most fragrant bulbs you can buy. So really, unless you like tubular flowers that are quite elegant, that might be suitable for cut flowers if you like them, this is a plant really I wouldn't recommend in the garden, especially in a fragrant garden. There are so much more showier and bizarre flowers you can get in the garden, and rather than the Cyrthanthus mackenii, just to name one, the beautiful regal lilies that are in full bloom now, as you can see, and they have a gorgeous fragrance and they are absolutely spectacular. Obviously the size is quite different. Regal lilies can grow up to 1 meter, actually up to 2 meters, but really the fragrance spreading from these lilies is quite something. Anyway, going back to the Cyrthanthus mackenii, as I said, nice flower, cultivation, partial shade, well-drained soil, keep it moist, and well, if you like it, enjoy the flowers. Me, I'm not too sure if I will keep it for next year, hoping for a better blooming or a more fragrant blooming, or I will just give it away and use the pots for something more promising. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, if you like my videos and you would like to subscribe to my channel, that would be great. In this way you will receive also a notification when I post new videos. Also, if you like the videos, please give a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, please give a thumbs down, and obviously any comment, positive or negative, is more than welcome on my down below the comments. And again, if you love a fragrance, if you buy plants for fragrance, I really wouldn't recommend to buy Cyrthanthus mackenii. Also, remember that most of the other Cyrthanthus are not fragrant at all. The only positive thing I could say about this plant is that I would say it's very easy to grow. So if you want a plant that is pretty fuss free and you like this kind of tubular elegant flowers, these pastel colors, definitely go for it. Very easy, very, very elegant. But if you like fragrance or strong colors, definitely go to look somewhere else. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.